Hi everyone, this is Manage Your Mind Monday. My name is Holly Campbell. I'm a mental health supports counselor with Communities and Schools, and today we're going to talk about self-esteem. So I personally have not met a child or an adult that cannot use the self-esteem boost. And self-esteem is one of those things that's really fragile in the sense that like one day we can be super positive about ourselves and the next day we have a really bad day at school and now we're going to be just mean to ourselves. So we're going to talk about some activities you can do with your child to help boost that for them. So the first one is positive self-talk. So how I do this is I sit down with the child and I get 3 different post-it notes and we write something positive about them on that post-it note. So you know your child best, so you know what maybe they're a little bit negative on themselves about. And with these, I kind of write anything from, I am strong, I am enough, I am beautiful, anything like that. If you're still having trouble or they're still having trouble with coming up with things like this, you can go to Google or Pinterest and find a list of positive affirmations that they can say. So after we make our 3 post-it notes, I then put it on, or I then get a mirror out and then the child says those 3 positive things to themselves in that mirror for 3 times. And then after that, I give them those 3 post-it notes and I tell them, okay, so we're gonna put this on our bathroom mirror when we get home so they can say it in the morning when they're getting ready. And I've had kids, well, they'll ask you, so do I have to like do this forever? And in those situations, I usually say that, okay, so we're gonna come up with 3, and then once we think we're done with those 3, we're gonna come up with a different 3 to put on there. So the next activity is a compliment circle. So I've done this in a group and one-on-one with a child. So with a group, I usually have it where like, okay, now say a compliment to everyone to your right or your left. And it goes in a circle until it comes back to the first person. Or I've had it where we're gonna put one person in the middle and everyone say a compliment to that one person. And then until everyone gets a turn. And for one-on-one, I've had strips of paper where I've had prompts in them and then put them in like a bowl, and we each take turns of picking them out. And they say things on them like, what is something you like about the person in front of you? What is something you want to learn about the person in front of you? It kind of gets a little bit more deep with those when it's one-on-one. And the next one is you get a piece of paper and write 1 through 10 on them. This is for a little bit of an older student, and they would write 10 things that they like about themselves on there. And yeah, and so for the younger kids, I would do something similar, a little craft, where we would write 5 things that they like about themselves on little strips of paper. So I just printed these out on color paper and put them on here, but you don't have to do that. You can literally do white paper and color the paper, or just do white paper, and you'll have some kids that'll be like, I want it to be shades of purple. Great, that's fine. It's whatever they want to do. It's no big deal. And so for those positive traits, I always have them do where they're not superficial. So these are going to be something not like, I like the way I smile. I like the way my hair looks. We want it to be more of like how we are on the inside or how they feel on the inside. And this might be hard for some kids, and that's okay. So in that situation, I usually have them only do 3. And then for those 3, I come up with one, usually the first one to get it started, and then they would come up with the other 2. If it's still hard, it's still okay. In that situation, I would go get a list off of Pinterest and Google again of positive personality traits, and then we talk about some. And if we go through a list and a kid's like, well, I'm kind of like that, I'm like, okay, let's think about a time you're like that. Like, for instance, a good friend. You're like, I guess I'm a good friend. Okay, let's think about a time you were a good friend. Like last week with Sally, she was crying, you helped her out. Great. And we want to make sure when we're doing that way that we give them evidence behind the trait, just so they have more concrete knowledge of, oh, I am that way. Yeah, so I hope some of these activities were helpful for you. Have a great day.